It's Talk Point again on Lagos Television, and we're very, very happy that you can join us. Today on Talk Point, we'll be looking at disaster management and preparations. And I have a guest in the studio that will be doing justice to that. But disaster management is one thing that, of course, without preparations, and of course, efforts must be put in place and on top of the gear so that things can get right, so that lives can be saved, so that properties can be saved. And whatever situation happens, it is always good when the state is always ready on it. Today on Talk Point, I have a guest in the studio. He is the Permanent Secretary of the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency with the acronym LASEMA. His name is Dr. Femi Oke-Otusointolu. Nice to have you, sir.
It's a pleasure being here.
Yes, it's good to have you, sir. Let me first start by asking you what is actually the core mission or the mandate of LASEMA in terms of management of situations when they do occur.
Well, the mandate of LASEMA is clear. It's been derived from the Act 50 of NEMA. And that Act 50 stated it's categorically that LASEMA is to coordinate any form of emergency stroke disaster in Lagos State. So any form of, in terms of that, we'll be looking at planning for disaster, in terms of preparations, in terms of response, in terms of reconstruction, in terms of recovery. So holistically, that is what LASEMA works on. And not only that, we work with other key stakeholders that have that kind of mandates to do that.
Yes, your operations, how do you carry those things out? Because most people want to know how you react swiftly to things when they do happen.
Well, strategically, in Lagos State, we have an emergency number. And fortunately for us now, our call center has been upgraded to a status of an agency. What that means is that communication in emergency is more effective and efficient. Now, we have bases in all the strategic places of the state. And we have zonal offices in 3 zonal offices of LASEMA. So what does that is that we realize that the impact of any disaster is to the grassroots. So we try as much as possible to improve on communications. We try as much as possible to improve on the capacity of the first responders. We try as much as possible to build the community resilience. So that in all the local government in Lagos State, we have the local emergency management agency and we have local emergency management committee. With this, we work hand in hand to ensure safety of good people of Lagos State and the safety of life and properties. But the most important thing that you will key on in Lagos that makes Lagos different, that makes Lagos to have resilience for any form of emergency or disaster, despite this topography and the fact that it's a metropolitan city, is that the governor of the state, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, has taken ownership and provided the political will and ensure the good people to enjoy the dividends of democracy. And that dividends is clear, is safety of life and properties.
Yeah, very interesting, very, very interesting. There was a time that there was a disaster somewhere around Isolo, under bridge, that area, and I noticed that your team were there. NEMA team was also there.
Yeah.
Now, is there a working relationship
There
with
is
NEMA?
a working relationship with NEMA. And as I said earlier, the act that established LASEMA is from NEMA, Act 50. And you see, we work hand in hand with NEMA. NEMA is the statutory for the federal level. Ours is statutory for the state level. And there must be efficient collaboration between the two organizations, and that is what we are doing.
At some point, some years back, you were at the presidency.
Yeah.
Yes, and you were in charge of risk management and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now, are you bringing something there to Lagos, which we're seeing, or you're also taking
That's
something?
it. You see, well, when I was there, I've taken something in from Lagos to the place.
Okay.
And with that, we're able to establish what we call the national early warning
Okay.
at the federal level. When I came back, I improved on the collaborations between federal agency, and that's why today at our Igondo area, we have the IRM, we have the Federal Government Relief Agency working with us, and we are smoothing the collaborations between NEMA and LASEMA, and
Okay.
that is the dividends of what the Lagos State is really enjoying now, with more experience. Today, when I came back, we established what we call the command control agency.
Yes.
That's not what we have before. Before we have LASEMA, we have the command control with LASEMA, but before I left, by 2013-15, we've developed a template, we've developed a law. So when I came back, we commenced the command control agency. So the most important of that is that we are ready to manage our emergency in a cyber form, digital form. We are ready to improve on the communications in emergency management. We are ready to ensure that all the agency collaborated together effectively, efficiently, so that the safety of life of people will not be jeopardized.
Okay, that's interesting to know. One thing I would like to ask you is your experience, which you said you brought from at the federal level to the state level, with some form of we're seeing some form of improvement in disaster management in Nigeria and in Lagos State.
Yes.
Now, I haven't done that. There was a time that we also had that you created some resettlement centers.
Yes.
Could you just expatiate on that?
Today in Lagos State, we are looking at emergency management holistically. And as I said, and I keep on emphasizing, even for some states that are studying what we are doing in LASEMA, the most critical point is that the governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, has taken ownership and provided the political will. With that, we have 3 relief centers in 3 central districts of the state. We have one at Lagos West, Igondo. We have one at Lagos East, Agbowa, and there's ongoing one at Lagos Central, at Lekki area. So you can see that when you are looking at the way we are handling emergency, we are handling it holistically. We are ensuring that the good people of Lagos State are safe.
How often do these people stay there? Because those
it depends on the kind of emergency we are handling. Sometimes some people have stayed there for 1.5 years. Sometimes some people have stayed there for 6 months. Because at that center, we are going to carry out rehabilitative measures put in place. So it depends on when we think that they are safe to go back to the public domain.
Okay, are those times that you had people stay there for 6 months to 1 year that you said?
Yeah.
What were the things you noticed, and what are the experiences you hope to improve on?
The point is that what we noticed that they were affected by flood. They are Ajegunle people. We move them to the place, and when we check them, they have nutritional challenges, they have psychological challenges, they have physical challenges. So what we did in terms of that is that we try to improve their nutritional status, we try to improve their psychology, we try to call in psychoanalysis to do a psychoanalysis for them, and we try to buffer a lot of things that they are lacking. We try to do empowerment for them, so before we return them back to the society.
Do you follow up on these people?
Definitely, we have their daughters, and they do calling, and they are doing very well, because when they are going, we give them some financial assistance.
Oh, that's good to hear that.
Yes.
they got financial assistance.
That's empowerment. And because of the fact that the governor has taken ownership and provided the political will.
Oh, that's nice to hear that. Now, one also thing that I want you to talk on has to do with protection or probably prevention of disasters. There are situations where disasters need to be prevented before they occur.
Yeah.
Either through be man-made, that we can always caution and prevent so that we won't have a greater impact of problems in the society. Now, in such situations, what area have you done, what things have you done? Have you collaborated with other ministries?
For example, that's what we are doing now in terms of flood.
Okay.
We are trying to build the resilience of the community. The governor has upgraded in terms of capacity, in terms of equipment of all the first responders. And not only that, we are carrying out sensitizations every corners of the state, especially those areas that we thought that would be more affected or more prone to this. We carried out what we call risk analysis, resource mapping, and as much as possible, we try to carry the people along. And our slogan is that emergency management or disaster management is everyone's business. We have to do it together to ensure safety of life and properties.
So can you just mention some of these areas that you see that they are prone to flood?
Well, when you are looking at Ikodu area, the Ikodu area, Isheri area, Lekki area, Etios area, these are areas that are really prone to flood. Okay. And you can see that the Ministry of Environment are doing so much that to ensuring the slitting of the drainage, to ensuring that they remove any obstructions on our drainage system.
There's one thing that I would not but commend your agency for, and that is moving to areas when buildings collapse. When buildings collapse, and there's always these emotions. They throw it at government. Government is not doing enough, this and that, but they also forget that the people too should not flout the laws. Yeah. Now, in those areas, what sensitization measures are you in collaboration with LAFCA and others?
The LAFCA, the fire services are carrying out a lot of sensitizations. What we appeal to good people is that they should not flout the environmental laws. That's number one. What we appeal to people is that they should not cut corners using substandard materials. What we appeal to the people is that they should abide with the building code. Instead of cutting corners, you see some of them working on Sunday when they realize that teams will not be on the ground, so to say. You see some of them working at night when they realize that we close at maybe 7, 8 o'clock, they will start working at 9, 12 till following a.m. So we appealed to them that what we are doing is for them. Laws are made for them to ensure their safety, to ensure their well-being. So they should cooperate with the government of Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu to ensure safety of life and properties.
Yes, I'd like you to mention that. I also want to touch on one issue. When you go to disaster areas, take for instance, the buildings have collapsed in the past. We don't wish that buildings collapse more in the past. There's some equipment that you take there. I noticed there was a time you talked to you and you spoke about Goliath. Yeah. You talked about the heavy equipment that you move. How do you navigate to these close areas with those heavy equipment?
It's not that easy, but because we are passionate to save life, we do everything that is humanly possible to move all this equipment there. And we keep on appealing to the good people of Lagos State that they should not block road for us. We keep on appealing to the good people of Lagos State that they should not padlock their gates. We keep on appealing to good people of Lagos State that we are passionate in managing the golden hour. That anytime they call us on 767 or 112, we will be right there. And apart from using heavy duty equipment, we have light duty equipment that we use, and we have DELSA to detect anybody under the debris.
Oh, okay, that's nice. It's very interesting to hear. So you take, for instance, a building collapses or has collapsed. I don't want it to happen, has collapsed. Now, And you get there. Okay, take for instance the one that happened recently at Isheri, Ojodu area.
Yeah.
Yes. Were you able to use your equipment to detect
Definitely.
that people were still there?
Yeah, definitely. You can see us saving more than 5 people on the ground. We move in, we detect where people are. After listening, you take history from the people that are on the ground.
On ground there, they
When
give you information.
When they give you that information, you move in there. You use your DESA. You use DESA to comb the place. You listen to it. You know where people are alive. You know where people are not there. Then you titrate. You plot your graph. When you plot your graph, you move in with the heavy duty equipment, because you must be very careful, because you see, if there are a lot of people in there are different ways we will use our heavy duty equipment not to compress people on the ground. You get what I'm trying to say? You have to be very careful, and that's why you have to be systematic about it. Then you will know where you will take your heavy duty to before you start using light duty equipment. You know where you can't move your heavy duty to, that you will use your light duty equipment. It's based on the follow-up from the DESA results and the practical experience about it.
The way you're saying it, it seems very easy. And I know that maybe because over the years you've tried
we've been in this business for about 30 years.
Yes, because anybody that just hears you will think, oh, it is an easy thing to. Yes, I quite appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah, we've been in this business for about 30 years. We've worked in Lagos State, we work in the federal, we work at the West African regions, and don't forget that we have both the theoretical aspect of it.
Yeah.
I'm a medical doctor.
Yeah.
I have my PhD in emergency planning, and I have my master's in disaster management. I've been on a lot of international training on this, and I've been working both morning, afternoon, and nights under the good tutelage. So we've been on it, and we keep on passing this message, this training to our boys. You can see my boys now, my team, when they're on the ground, they are fantastic, and I'm really proud of them.
Yes, the hallmark of leadership is when a leader builds other people.
You build your succession.
Yes, yeah.
We've done it.
Yes, good.
And we are spreading to other states and other countries too.
Kudos to you over on that issue. Let me quickly move out of Lagos. Let's quickly get to outside Lagos, and that has to do with the recent issue at Mokwa in Niger State. Disaster occurred there, and the experience is not really palatable. Yeah, what do you think happened there, and what do you think could have been done better if you were there?
Well, you see, there are a lot of things when you are looking at disaster or emergency planning. It starts from the primary to secondary, from the secondary to tertiary. And you see, the foundations, if you look at their foundations, you will discover that there's a lot of challenges left and right. And I will start from one, which a lot of people normally look at me and say, is it true? But I'm telling them that if you check on this, you will get a lot of results. The key thing in emergency management is that the government of the day must take ownership and provide the political will. That's the key. Because if the government has taken ownership and provided the political will, they will be able to upgrade the first responders. Because spending on emergency, people will say, they are wasting money. You get what I'm trying to say?
I get you.
You can imagine in Lagos State under the watch of Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu has invested billions of naira on it, and they are not stopping. Of recent too, we are planning to purchase another sophisticated equipment. Look at all our fire services. Our fire services, they are not calling them fire services again. They are calling them fire services and search and rescue. So it's a part of upgrading, improving the capacity. So the most important thing that you must realize that before this emergency comes up, the government of the day must take ownership and provide political will. When they take ownership, provide political will, they will be able to spend money, they will be able to budget a lot of funds in emergency management in terms of equipping, building capacity. Now, with that, they can able to carry the people along. It has to, You have to carry people along. When you look at that place, look, Lagos State have got a relief camp since 2007.
Yeah.
They have none there. You get what I'm trying to say? They have none at Niger State. You get what I'm trying to say? Now, if you look at the way their search and rescue are, it's not compared to Lagos. You get what I'm trying to say?
Lagos is always a pest setter.
Yeah, apart from the Lagos State is a pest setter, you have to take something that is unique. And that's what we are saying, unique. And that uniqueness of it is that the government of the day must take ownership of emergency and provided the political will. Let me tell you something. If a building collapses in Lagos State, within 1 second, the governor is in knowledge of it. We will call him straight away. We will test him. He's alert. He will take ownership of it. Where we are doing this, we are doing that, he will tell us.
And he's getting updates.
He's getting updates. And he's going to be the front runner. Look at what happened when the 21 building collapsed at Ikoyi. When we got there, we were afraid. Believe me, I've been handling emergency. It's a federal issue. We are afraid to move in. And the governor was not around. Do you know what he did? We informed me about what happened. He left the place immediately.
Came down.
And came down. And he led the team. He gave us pepper and said that we should face it. And we face it. We are able to rescue some people in there. But if he has not taken ownership, if he has not given us what we need to use, can we be able to perform? So the people in Niger State have to go back to the drawing board. Going back to the drawing board, building the community resilience, building their SEMA, building their fire services, ensuring that they plan the place very well so that they will not experience such things again. Despite the topography of Lagos State, we have not experienced that because we put a lot of things in place.
So you are saying, sorry sir, you are saying indirectly now that it's not only Niger State, you're talking to other state governments.
Definitely yes.
Okay.
I'm talking to other states. The most important thing, you can see some of the states that their SEMA is not viable. The SEMA must be able to be viable. The SEMA must be able to tell the government where they are going. The government must be able to take ownership of it. The government must be able to take ownership of it. You will see our governor, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, walking round the corner. We will keep on bombarding him with tests, with pictures. He will keep on giving others and say, look, gentlemen, I'm with you. With the confidence that you have somebody at your back, there's nothing you can do. With the confidence that you know that this man is on the ground watching what you are doing, you put your best into it. Yeah. You get what I'm trying to say? Okay. So the key thing in emergency management today that is lacking, and I keep on saying it, the key thing, I repeat, the key thing that is lacking in emergency management in some states is that the government have not taken ownership. The government have not provided the political will. And whenever they take ownership and provide the political will for the safety of their people, they will be able to spend on upgrade. They will be able to spend building the community resilience because it's not easy. Putting billions of them. Look at our Charlie. Our Charlie cost millions of naira. When we are looking at that, our operation, that operation that you are seeing, and whenever we move a crane out from that place, believe me, we always spend between 5 to 10 million.
Okay, yes.
On one operation, because when we put it standing, we will not off it. It will be using diesel.
Yeah, I know.
As it's using diesel, it will be using petrol. As it's using petrol, it will be using oil. You can imagine a building collapse will move 3 machinery into it. Do you know the cost? It's enormous.
Yes, it is.
And our light equipment too. All the desert that you are seeing, they use petrol.
Equipment, yes, I know.
All this equipment that you are seeing that we are working with, all the generators that you see that we are working, how many government can put money into that place? Because it is an unseen thing. Yeah. We are unseen heroes.
Thank you so much. I want to believe that you have been able to give us enough information, although time is not on our side. I've been speaking with the permanent secretary of the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency in the person of Dr. Femi Oke Osoyintolu, who has been giving us information on what the agency has been able to do and what the agency is planning to do with the support of the governor of Lagos State and other people of Lagos, because they cannot do it alone. I want to thank you so much, Dr. Osoyintolu, for joining us on Talk Point today. Come to the end of Talk Point. 767 and 112 are still the lines to always call in times of emergency. When you see something, always say something. Stay out of trouble and ensure that you do what is right to ensure that Lagos State remains the center of excellence. I am Omololu Rosanwo, signing out.